So here's how I like to think about this. How I like to think about it is this. If I was a 5, if over here, if I have a 5 and I plug in x is 5, then the square root of 5 is about 2 point some change, whatever this is. When I plug in 5, this is where I end up. If I were to plug in a 5 in for this x right there, if I were to plug in a 5, what would that now be? What would that x value be? If the input was a positive 5, what is my input going to be when I plug in 5 right there? What will that be? It would be negative 5. So what do you think this graph would look like? Does this graph make sense to you? If I had values that were here a positive 3, then what I'm doing is I'm making that positive 3 into a negative 3. I am going to reflect that graph, and it's going to reflect the graph about the y-axis. What does that mean? That means that if I were to take this y-axis here and I were to use that as a piece of paper and fold it, and that's my crease, then this piece would fold directly on top of the other piece. It's the mirror. It's the line of symmetry, if you will. Okay? Using that same idea, what happens if there's a square root outside? In your groups, discuss what would this graph look like. And I'm saying a negative square root of x, which is the same thing as the negative f of x, of the original negative f of x, okay? What would it do?